Bitch can knock your ass out. 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 I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Get out my way. Get out my way. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm back today for FL Studio tutorial number 21. Today I'm going to kind of just talk about the mixer a little bit and how you can use the send tracks. You'll see these send tracks in the mixer if you've ever wondered what they're for. What I'll show you what you can do is send groups of tracks here, and you can run plugins on groups of instruments. You can do different things with this track. You could, compress, you can EQ, you can automate, pull the volume down, put tape stop on it, all kinds of stuff. So this is kind of useful. The first thing that you have to understand is how the mixer works. So before anything, I'll let you hear this beat. It's just a cheesy little dance beat I whipped together really quick. And what you can see, there's some piano and a pad going, like some strings basically. And now you hear some bass, and basically what I've got is all of my percussion on tracks 1 through 7 here, colored this dark black, and then all of the blue instruments here is everything else, like the pad strings, the piano, a synth, and then I've got a little effect right here that I'm using too. So what I'm going to do is take all of these tracks and send them to here and name it percussion, and then I'll send the other one, or the rest of the instruments, 8 through 11 to here. So I just renamed these two sends, and what you have to do now is, by default, every single track, if I go from track 1 right here and scroll all the way over to the right through everything, you'll notice everything is routed back to the mixer, the master bus out here, the master track. So the way that you can tell is with this track highlighted, you can see there's a little volume pot right here, and it says down in the helper there, to master bus. So if I go through all of these tracks, you'll see everything is being sent to here. Alright, so now what you want to do first is send all of your tracks that you're choosing in your group to your first send. So with each track selected, just have your mouse ready over here. I'm going to send all of these to percussion, and I'm going to right click and choose reset. So now you're sending this track to here. But don't forget, you're also sending this track to here, and we'll come back to that in a second. But for now, just go through every track. Okay, so now every single track, when I go through here, all of these 1 through 7, notice here, you'll see the little volume knob pop up. I'm sorry, right here. And you can see it's turned up. But then for the pad, piano, and synth, it's not. What we'll do for those is the same thing, but send it to this other send, so the percussion and the instruments will be separate. Alright, so now what you want to do last, go back to track 1 and turn the volume down for all these tracks that you're sending. So basically everything here. I don't want to send it to the master bus and to here, because it'll double the volume, like the output of the information, and it won't sound good. So quickly I'll kind of just blast through here. I'm going to copy this. And keep going for all of the tracks until you give yourself carpal tunnel. Okay, so now in the next part, I'll show you guys what I've just done. Basically, we've got the instruments and the percussion grouped and sent out to 2 tracks, and we'll take it from there in the next part. Alright guys, so here's part 2. What we've just done is we've taken every track and routed it away from the master output track here, and instead routed it to individual tracks. So now when I hit play, you're going to see the instruments coming out through here, and then you're going to see all of my percussion coming out here. And the thing to remember is, even though we've routed all of these tracks away from the master channel here, or output track on the mixer, keep in mind that after sending these all of these tracks to these send fades, these send tracks, notice they also have volume back to the master. So it's still going back, but only once. You don't want to be sending, you know, this track here to the master 100%, and then also be sending it here, because it'll double the output as far as volume goes. Sometimes it'll create a phase issue. Sometimes it'll sound good. Maybe you can try that too, but that would be like in an accident scenario, and that does happen sometimes. Good stuff sounds good, and you come across it on accident. So, but anyway, here's how it sounds now. Just notice these 2 faders over here. And you can see right away both the piano and then the strings here. And here goes the bass. See, now as you can see, we got EQs now too. We can control everything, you know, all the instruments at the same time with one EQ if you want. If you want to automate stuff, this is a good place to do it, but you know, not for the whole track. Think of these 2 tracks as a place where you can kind of glue everything together. The way that I think about the word glue it together, what I mean is I've got all these tracks, different sounding samples and, you know, instruments all put together. All of the samples and programs are made by different companies and have a different unique sound. So when you take all of this stuff that is unique because it's made and it's supposed to just sound different from all the other competitors' stuff, you can put it all through one track. And then if maybe a plugin or something that you have has got a certain characteristic to it, maybe it gives it a little more punch, maybe it tames out some of the mid-range or the treble that hurts your ears, something like that. This is perfect for that because you can just do it all in one pass, and what you end up getting is taking all of these instruments that are unique and having a way to put them together and have something in common, if that makes sense. And it would be the plugin that it all has in common, but what you want to do is just make little tiny moves here so that you can shape all of your sounds to kind of blend together. And even further, what's nice is if you have EQs like this on percussion and instruments and you're having trouble with your mix and you can't hear things, like for example, let's go here. Alright, so right away, when you're looking at the percussion, there's some heavy frequencies right in the 200 to 500 range, but also look at the drums. It's very heavy there as well. Now, I'm not saying do this, but just listen to the difference when you pull the fader away. This is just one little move. So it's kind of nice. In the next part, I'll kind of show you what I do with this, and I pretty much do this in all of my songs too, so it's pretty cool. I'll do this in one more part. Alright guys, I'm back for the last part of tutorial number 21. Again, what we've got going on is we're grouping tracks using the send fader, and I'm just going to do a couple of quick things, nothing too crazy. First, what I like to do is load up stuff like this. These are tape machine simulators by Steven Slate. They sound really good, and I've got 2 of them loaded up here. One is on the instrument bus and the other is on the percussion. I'm just gonna skip right into the percussion part and get that set up. Alright, so now we are running all of our tracks through a couple of send faders, and they're hitting an EQ. I'm not doing anything with the EQ, it's just I'm there to look at it in case I need to make changes later. And we're running it through a tape machine. You can do it with anything. If you've got a compressor, if you want to use the stock Fruity compressor, you can. And let's just run it through here and see what it does. You don't want to do a lot. Can't stress enough how important it is. If you start messing with plugins on these tracks, whatever the volume level is going into that plugin, you want to make sure that volume level is the same coming back out of it. Especially on these tracks, it can screw up your whole mix if you don't do it right and keep things the same. Alright, so let's hear what the difference is. First I'll play everything without. And then with everything on. You get the idea. I mean, you can do anything. You can automate some tape stop too. Or whatever you want to do. Run a phaser, a flanger, whatever the hell suits your track and sounds good. So knock yourself out. Share some shit with me. Put something down in the comments and show me what you're doing. So I like tips too. So comment, like, subscribe. I'll be back with more tutorials. You know the deal. Later, guys.